Mr. Hobson. Man, I'm glad to see you. And I tell you, the sod ain't worth spit. It's like cutting granite with a butter knife.
Yeah, well, it tends to feel that way if the teeth are set.
I told you it wasn't right. Not my fault.
One of the mares had put.
Hey, did you hear any news about
barn.
the war? Fence is down again.
I dreamt about you every night.
Dreamt about you, too. All of you. Various parts of you.
2 weeks, Rich.
15 days to be exact. Maybe this isn't the time.
It is.
What about Pan?
He won't be back for hours. He's rounding up strays. Besides, he can't get in if he tries.
Oh, yeah? Well, that chair won't.
It will. I saw it in the movie.
Yeah, but the door opens. Ow.
Oh. Been doing some, interior decorating?
Thought you were rounding up strays.
And look what I found.
McDaniels!
Rich? Miss Hobson?
Robert! What a nice surprise.
I don't want to be in any trouble. If I could just stay in the bunkhouse.
Oh, you can't. Spare bunks are all full of wedding gifts. You'll stay right here with us.
Come on, let me show you the outfit. Here.
Buttons are done up crooked. Made you look.
Richmond P. Hobson Jr., Panhandle Phillips, and Gloria McIntosh Hobson were real people. And for a short period of time, in the wilderness halfway between Vancouver and the Yukon, they worked to carve out the largest cattle ranch in the world. That part is true.
Gold hands.
Oh, sorry. Forgot where I was.
Never startle a wanted man.
I'm sorry. Stance was off. Must have been tough living out there all winter. On some trails. Never knowing who might be around the next bend.
Tommy,
Every stranger a threat. Yeah, you didn't mean nothing by it, sir. No, it's just me rambling. It's an affliction. Verbal diarrhea, my mother called it. Here, let me help. Get out of the way.
We could use another hand.
Yeah, money's tight.
Fingers.
Yeah, you just let me do the talking.
Fingers.
It's been ages since I've had a home-cooked meal. Tastes mighty fine.
Thank you, Robert.
Frostbite must have killed your taste buds.
Grinds a man down being on the move all the time.
Yeah, imagine it does.
Good to settle down for a spell.
Well, then why don't you come and...
Gloria, can I get your help here for a moment?
Guess you're pretty much settled here, huh?
Yeah, guess we are.
Already herded the cattle to high country.
Pretty much.
Trail to Baton Uni's already cut.
Will be any day now.
got enough men to deal with the cabin.
Just about.
What are you waiting for? Offer the man a job.
Why, thank you, Gloria. The thought hadn't crossed my mind.
Ah, she's right. There's no use beating about the bush. Look, I figure if McDaniel starts cutting a trail, you and I take care of the calving, and by the end of the month, the three of us can meet up at Bat Nooning Ranch.
And me?
And you have the important job of ranch supervisor.
Yeah, supervising Tommy so Kit can get some work done.
Gloria, you can't let Pan get to you. You know that by now.
Oh, I'm not mad at Penn.
Standard wage. 30 a month plus room and board.
That what you're paying the boy?
Which boy?
One who almost chopped his foot off with the axe.
Like I say, standard wage.
40 and you got a deal.
Just got back from 2 weeks on the range and now you're leaving again.
The cows are calving.
So take me with you.
It's not practical.
I didn't marry you just to haul water and darn your socks. Call me impractical, but we haven't made love for 16 days and it's driving me to distraction.
There's no one in the barn.
Hello, the house!
Rupert. So, did you lose the rest of your marching band in the bog?
You, gentleman and lady, are looking at the newly appointed colonel of the Itcha Mountain Militia.
Appointed by who?
When an opportunity arises, a man rises to the opportunity.
So I've heard.
In other words, you appointed yourself.
We are looking for strong, loyal men to keep the Nechako safe in these perilous times.
Wars in Europe, Moet.
You're forgetting about the German families in the vicinity. They could form a fifth column.
Livestock stays outside.
Madame Bovary is not livestock. She's our official militia mascot.
I think she's sweet on you, Penn.
Listen, Rupert, I doubt the Blackwater's a prime spot for Nazi spies.
Let him who desires peace prepare for war. Now, we've got to protect ourselves, not just against the Germans, but I hear McDaniels is back in the area.
No, I don't think we have to worry about the likes of McDaniels.
My dear sir, he's wanted for murder in the United States. He tore the fellow's heart out with his bare hands just for the pleasure of it.
Funny, I heard he killed a man who was about to rape his girl.
Mere details for the courts to sort out. Besides, they're offering a cash reward for the chap who reels him in.
Sweet!
You shouldn't have done that. Sweets are bad for her teeth. Madam, sweet.
$30, my final offer.
So,
Well, head north, start cutting the trail, and we'll meet up with you in a couple of weeks.
It seems prudent to get you as far away from here as possible.
appreciate the horse.
There must be some way to clear your name, Robert. Maybe we could find a sympathetic judge.
Maybe. Or maybe I'd wind up hanging from a tree.
Couple of jackass.
Hey, kid, let me give you a hand with that.
I'm fine, thanks.
No, really, I'd like to help. Hey, is Kid short for Catherine?
No, short for bug off.
Yeah.
Tommy isn't a cripple himself. Kid'll do it for him.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Wish
shorthanded as it is.
We got McDaniels now. He's worth 3 of Tommy.
We can't afford to be carrying dead weight.
If Tommy was a hunting dog, I'd shoot him.
Has anyone ever tried to teach him?
No time.
So you figured he'd just pick it up through osmosis?
No, I figured he'd soak it up just hanging around.
When Pan met you, you were nothing but a city boy with a dream.
All he knew about horses, he'd red Black Beauty.
Zane Grey.
Barely knew which end of the horse to feed the carrot to.
I wasn't that much of a greenhorn.
See? You took a fellow with almost no potential and turned him into the cowboy we see before us.
Suppose I did.
Yeah, you could do it again.
You could be Tommy's mentor,
His what?
This guy, teacher.
friend.
And he said if you were a dog, he'd shoot you. Well, what did I do? Well, they're fed up with you mooning over Kit.
I told you, leave me be, Tommy.
So what do I do now? Well, it beats me, but if you see Pan reaching for his rifle, you get going.
Put McDaniel's horse in the barn. Best to keep it outside for a while.
Yes, sir.
Tommy! Saddle up. You're coming with me.
You know, I think I got saddle sores.
Horses get saddle sores. Keep your butt where it is. We'll check on the cattle before supper.
I'll set up the tent.
And I'll start the fire.
Gloria, we have to set up camp.
We will. Soon. What's wrong?
Nothing. Sorry. Oh, McDaniels is in trouble.
What?
Yeah. Come on, why, I think we should move.
So, how will we know if the cows need help?
What you're looking for is plain old discomfort. Moaning, lying down, general orneriness.
Sounds like my mom when she's having one of her spells.
Where do you and yours hearken from?
Farm. Here, Quinnell.
Brothers, sisters?
Sisters?
Something tells me those sisters of yours are the only young women you've ever known.
Yes, sir. Till Catherine. I mean, Kit.
Let me tell you a thing or two about women, son. You want to look for a gal who bows to your wisdom. A woman who's soft-spoken.
Rich, you'd better tell me what's going on.
Then there are those that make other choices.
McDaniels is in trouble.
You figure the law caught up with him?
What is this? Mighty Mandrake sees the future?
You better go find him.
Yeah, Gloria, you stay.
With Rich.
What makes you so sure Robert's in trouble?
I saw him lying on the ground.
You saw him?
Yeah, it was just like a dream, only I was awake.
And this vision happened just as we were on the brink of making love?
Sorry, bad timing.
Freud would have had a heyday.
Freud was a quack. Besides, I had a dream about you, didn't I?
So you've said.
What, you don't believe me?
I believe the mind is a powerful tool. I also believe that it can play tricks.
Really?
It is possible that this vision was really a subconscious avoidance of intimacy with me.
Or maybe it's like Freud said, sometimes a cigar, just a cigar.
Then why is it that whenever we're about to make love, something else pops up?
Men and women have different urges.
Urges, sir?
Well, women are happy to have a beer on a Saturday night. But fellas, well, they'd like to have a beer every night of the week.
Uh-huh.
And women like to stick to one brand. Whereas men, well, men like to sample a whole bunch of different brands.
Are we talking about beer, sir?
No, Tommy.
Good. Because I never really liked the taste of beer myself.
You ever heard a metaphor, son?
Oh, isn't that somewhere in Montana?
Gloria? Gloria?
Oh, no, there's a sight.
You like it?
Pretty hard to resist. Soft, succulent flesh in the great outdoors.
And it's all yours.
Mine. And 40 million mosquitoes.
Why didn't you warn me?
I did.
Your own sweet time.
McDaniels is in real trouble.
Another vision?
That's McDaniel's horse.
Three questions you never answer. Do you think she's pretty? Do I look fat in this? And how old do you think I am?
Sound harmless to me.
They're wolves in sheep's clothing. No matter what you say, it's wrong. Then they pounce. They tear you open and gnaw your entrails till they've had their fill and leave your carcass for the buzzards.
Kid would never eat my entrails.
Maybe not. But one, the attraction ain't mutual. Two, you gotta respect that. And three, she's too much of a man to be a good woman. She's about to drop. Yeah, now hold it about so. All right.
What's that?
You lived on a farm? You never seen placenta before? Oh, now, you didn't want to do that because, you see, now the cow will be wanting to eat it.
I never should have doubted you. I made us this time.
Not enough to make a difference.
Help! Over here! Rich! Mrs. Hobson! What a pleasant surprise. Getting hung up in a stirrup like some greenhorn. Been years since I've been thrown.
That's all right. It could happen to anybody.
Rich had this strange premonition. He knew you were hurt.
Live out here long enough, you find unique ways of communicating.
Yeah. You want to get his feet. You want to get his feet. All right.
Don't worry, we'll get you to a doctor.
No doctor. No doctor.
If we take him to town, they'll arrest him.
But his leg is
We'll have to set it ourselves.
And if we can't?
We have to. Excuse me. All right, Robert. It's gonna get worse before it gets better.
I know.
Here, bite down on these. Ready? Gloria, did you find more rope?
We used it all. Don't get any ideas.
See, what Bobby and Susie didn't know was that there was an escaped mental patient on the loose.
There's mental hospitals in Prince George.
And they called him Lobster Claw on account of the fact that where his left hand used to be was no hook. And he used to use it to dig out his victims' insides. And then one night, Bobby and Susie were clearing up after supper, sort of like what we're doing right now, when all of a sudden they hear the scraping at the door.
Who is it?
Leo Porter, RCMP. Morning.
Rich around?
They've all gone to Pan Meadows.
Word is Robert McDaniels is back in the area. You seen any sign of him?
No, not hiding nor hair.
You sure?
100% positive.
Well, how do you explain his Appaloosa wound up in your corral?
She's shivering.
Uh-huh.
His lips are blue. He's going to shock.
Uh-huh.
Would you talk to me? Please.
What? We're talking, aren't we?
We barely communicate these days.
Well, I told you about McDaniels, didn't I? And you wouldn't believe me.
I thought it was another excuse.
Oh. So you finally ready to admit I might not be as crazy as you think I am?
You're doing it again.
Doing what?
Avoiding the issue. Ever since you've been home, you back off every time I come near.
Gloria, you seem to have a knack for choosing the wrong place at the wrong time.
If I waited for your idea of the right time, I'd die a virgin.
A little late for that, isn't it?
Oh, you two are certainly keeping my mind off the pain.
How are you doing, Robert?
Been better.
Whoa.
Hey, what are you doing?
What I've had to do for the last 2 hours.
No, Gloria, not here. You can't. This is Moat's property.
Now you're telling me the right time and place to pee?
Oh.
Go ahead, I'll catch up with you.
Oh.
Moet.
Heads up.
Rupert, put that down.
You're not gonna leave her with him.
You want to live or you want to die?
I've always said Mrs. Hobson can take care of herself.
What are you doing laying booby traps?
Eternal vigilance is the price of freedom.
Thomas Jefferson.
Actually, Jefferson was paraphrasing John Philpot Curran, the Lord Mayor of Dublin.
I could have broken my ankle.
Well, that's the point. Incapacitate the enemy.
I'm not the enemy, Rupert. I'm your neighbor.
It is the bright light of day that brings forth the adder.
Julius Caesar. No, if you'll help me out.
Just one moment. What are you doing out here alone?
I went out for a ride. I guess I got a bit turned around. I'm sure I can find my way back from here.
I could have sworn I heard more than one voice.
When I'm alone at the ranch for a few days, I start hearing voices too.
Give me a hand so I can get home.
Home? I'm afraid not.
Calf and cow are doing okay. No thanks to you.
Well, I must have passed out. On account of all the blood being in my feet.
You didn't pass out. You fainted. Like a girl. Where'd you say you came from again?
Farm near Quesnel.
Where exactly?
That was about 30 miles north.
Oh, you must know the Holt boys then. They'd be about your age.
Sure, yeah. Probably knew him as a kid.
Oh, wait a second. The Holts are up Anaheim way. I meant the Boltons.
Bolton boys. Yeah, it got mixed up.
Except the Boltons only had girls. Now, where are you from, really?
Victoria. My dad worked for the government.
I got the son of a bureaucrat working on my ranch.
Now, I know I could be a cowboy. It's what I've always wanted. You ask me about Tom Mix, or Hopalong Cassidy, or the Cisco Kid. I've seen every movie they ever been in. Go on, ask me.
Real cowboying ain't like the movies, son. Well, there's no kind way to say this, so I'll just say it. You ain't cowboy material. We'll head out at first light. Send Ed and Kit to do the next shift. You can clear out your stuff when they're gone.
Welcome to my humble abode. Boots, please.
What?
Mud.
Oh.
No, not that one. That's Madam B's.
Your family?
Yes. My girls. Anna Karenina. She died about 10 years ago. Tess of the Dubervilles, who met her untimely end at the hands of the Nechako, as you probably recall. And, Madam B, excuse me. Sorry. It's just that, every time one of my girls passes into the next dimension, the hole in my heart gets a wee bit bigger.
But you're a pig farmer. You raise them for slaughter.
A man must put food on the table.
Oh, books. Wuthering Heights, the most romantic novel ever written.
It's a remarkable work for a spinster.
War and Peace.
Wordy.
Of Mice and Men, I adore Steinbeck.
Yes, the man's a genius. A rare thing for an American.
Could I borrow one?
This isn't a lending library. E, Elliot woman, E. You're placing her with the T's.
Thank you very much for your hospitality, Rupert, but I really must be going.
Don't be so hasty. I mean, I didn't say that we couldn't, negotiate.
Yes?
But if you were to, read to me for a spell, say from this book right here, perhaps I could see my way to lending you a volume or two.
This book is banned. If I read this to you, I'm breaking the law. If I read this to you, I'm breaking the law.
A book every 2 months.
2 books every month, for as long as we're neighbors.
You drive a hard bargain.
And Rupert, keep your hands where I can see them. Ours is essentially a tragic age, so we refuse to take it tragically.
Gloria puts me in mind of my Edwina down south. Never would listen to a word I said. Sounds familiar. But with the biggest spirit you ever saw. Heard through the grapevine she got married last fall. Sorry to hear that. I couldn't expect her to wait forever. I'm never going back.
Well, don't be so sure. You know, maybe we can figure a way out of this. Woo, 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 woo.
Is there a problem? Thought we were home.
Yeah, we are, but we can't stay. Mouty's here.
Rich, I want you to know I'm mighty appreciative of all the things you folks have done for me.
Now, Robert, that's starting to sound like a farewell speech. Robert? Robert?
Connie was half listening and threading in the hair at the root of his belly a few forget-me-nots that she had gathered on the way to the hut. He looked down and saw the milky bits of forget-me-nots in the hair on his groin. Tell me about it.
Hey! Roll out. We got 2 more about to drop. Over there, the Hereford. She's getting weaker by the minute. Something's wrong. You're gonna have to give her an internal.
An internal. I don't know how to
do it, Tommy. Go. Reach in. Reach in. All right, now what can you feel?
I'm not sure.
Well, can you feel the head?
I think it's more like a bump.
It's breech.
Look, you gotta help me.
I can't. I got a prolapsed uterus here. I gotta get back in.
Well, what about this one?
You're on your own. Turn that calf around or we'll lose it and its ma.
I think I got it. I got him turned around.
Good. Now, ease him out. Gently. Gently.
He's coming.
All right, easy. That's it.
He's here. It's awful quiet.
That's because it's dead.
Hey, Nelson!
Don't ask. Come on.
Nice job.
He's still shivering?
Better warm him up.
So, what do you think?
Well, if he starts to look better, I guess he'll be okay. If he starts to look worse, I guess he'll die.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Suppose so.
How do you,
Keep a family this size fed?
No.
Cure our moose meat. That's Rita's mother's recipe.
No. How do you and Rita, make love?
Same as white folks.
No. I mean, when do you find the privacy?
Hasn't been much need lately. Rita's been visiting her mother for 3 weeks now.
Before that?
Very quietly. We don't want to scare the children. Seems to me like you haven't been getting enough.
Oh, we're not having a problem.
Coffee.
Is Robert all right?
He's in the cabin.
How is he?
Hard to say. You're in rough shape.
Look at the tension in her neck, huh?
Ah, the circles under her eyes.
Oh, the sallow skin.
Oh, the lackluster hair.
Bad complexion. Those are mosquito bites.
Yep. This is clearly a woman who isn't getting enough.
So when?
Whenever the urge strikes.
Nelson, if I pulled Gloria into a haystack every time the urge strikes, the whole ranch would go up in flume.
You want to watch those haystacks? It's like the devil.
My father said once, a man was given a brain and a utsu, and enough blood to operate one at a time.
You should give your brain a rest.
Brew some mugwort tea and give him a cup before bed. It'll put the flint back in his tomahawk.
And put this underneath your pillow.
What is it?
It's a moose testicle. It'll make you more sexually attractive.
I am sexually attractive.
And rub this between your breasts. It'll draw him to you like a moth to a flame.
Native potion?
The best. Chanel number 5.
How could you tell what my problem was just by looking at me? Could you sense it somehow?
Nah, we heard Rich tell Nilsson all about it.
Gloria, I was just riding up to get you.
Do you realize that our lousy sex life is the talk of the neighborhood? And there isn't even a neighborhood!
Ed, what's McDaniel's horse still doing here?
We got company, sir.
Porter, what are you doing here? Phillips?
This isn't a social call.
Good, because I've had a long night and I ain't feeling none too social. Good, because I've had a long night and I ain't feeling none too social.
I want to know what McDaniel's horse is doing tied up in your yard.
Someone must have crept in and left him here. Maybe it was Santa Claus.
Is that your story?
Yeah, that's my story. Look, take the horse. Just leave us be.
Oh, I'll take the horse. And Ed. And Kit.
What are you talking about?
Well, they say the horse is theirs. Which means they're in possession of stolen property. Now, unless somebody tells me any different.
I just fired one ranch hand. You take these two, I got no one left.
I'd say that's your problem.
Wait, McDaniels was here.
Tommy?
Saw him not 2 days ago. Everyone else was out riding herd. That's when McDaniels showed up. He demanded another horse. I was scared, so I did what he said. I told Ed and Kid about it, and we hid the Appaloosa in the barn. They were supposed to get rid of it, but I guess you showed up. I'm not gonna let Kit get in trouble for something she didn't do. You too, Ed, I guess. So if you're gonna arrest somebody, it better be me.
Just tell me which way you went.
East.
East.
I'm dead. This must be heaven.
So, did Rupert behave himself last night?
Typical man. Fell asleep.
Listen, have I told you lately how hard it is for me to keep my hands off you?
You're just saying that because I have a moose testicle in my pocket.
You know, I've been thinking about what you said. It's true. All work and no play is making Richmond a dull boy.
I know you can't just jump into the sack at the drop of a hat. If we'd been making love in the woods, we might have missed McDaniel's horse.
Well, I doubt we'd have missed a horse going by.
Trust me, Rich. In 10 more minutes, you'd have thought it was the earth moving.
Don't scare the children.
Where do you think you're going? There's work to be done.
Yeah, but you said...
I say a lot of things. You gotta learn to separate the wheat from the chaff.
I'm not fired? But what about the calf?
It was stillborn. Nothing you could have done would have changed that. You saved his mom's life.
Forget-me-nots.
What's with the flowers?
Oh, just something I read in a book.